Greetings, humanity. I have returned. I'm Jim, and I'm here playing Shardlight. I told you I'd be back. I told you I'd be back playing this, and so here we are, taking a stab at playing it some more. We left off, getting ready to possibly have a vision as we were hanging out with a death cult, which seems delightful. So we'll be doing a bunch of that, a bunch of stuff related to that. Let me just make sure before I do anything else that I've got my content warnings up, because those will be helpful. Okay, good. Content warnings are currently for death, assisted suicide, illness, disease, torture, and mentions of mutilation. So feel free, if you're watching, do whatever you need to protect yourself. If you got to turn it off, turn it off. It's absolutely fine. This is again in a point-and-click adventure game. That's kind of a throwback to the those of that kind that we had in the 80s and 90s ish. God, it all blurs together after a while. I guess technically the first point-and-click adventure was Maniac Mansion, in a way, even though you were putting together sentences as you were moving a cursor around the screen and clicking on things. And Sierra ultimately finally caught up, but they were trying very hard to do things, to not do things other companies were doing, so it took them a little while. Before they gave in and was like, alright, we'll use the mouse. See, here's the mouse. Here's Shardlight. Here are some shards. There's a raven with a red eye. Speaking of ravens, Death Cult. We're hanging out with the Death Cult. We have already talked to everyone here. See, we're chilling here in our top hats, playing the marimbas or whatever this is. Actually, I don't know. I can't see clearly what kind of instrument this is. These are drums. And that could be a xylophone, actually. Not sure. Anyway, where we need to go is apparently through that door.
I wonder if playing dress-up with statues is considered sacrilegious.
Did we need anything from this statue? I forget.
Real marble. Nice.
Apparently not. This looks a lot like... I think if this is a costume, right? Or if part of a costume, someone put this on and came and got us. When we were injured. We were horribly injured not too long ago. We're playing Amy Wellard here. Amy is the daughter, is a mechanic. She is the daughter of someone who was in the Resistance who died a little while ago. It's an apocalypse. There's a resistance against a ministry that's kind of taken over a number of ministries. And we are now perhaps presumed dead? Not sure. We'll see. We fought them. We were sentenced to death. We escaped. And they killed our friend, which was not very nice of them. But we got away. We're out here in the courtyard. I can't remember what we're supposed to do. Oh, there's the decanter. I think we're supposed to drink it. Sit on the bench, drink the decanter.
I wonder if that's someone's grave.
I mean, it's a fair assumption, I would say, given the location.
Looks comfortable enough. A decanter of liquid underneath the bench. Well, that's not suspicious at all.
Not at all. I think we're supposed to drink that.
Nice. I bet it was even prettier when it was operational.
Armed and completely operational fountain, yes.
It's pretty, but also kind of scary. She watches o'er us all, protecting with her light. Though shadows may grow tall, she won't give up her fight.
And I think that's everything we can interact with over here.
I'd really rather not.
No?
She watches...
Okay, yes, we did that.
No coins in it. unfortunately.
Sadness. Okay.
That would be disrespectful.
Well, here we go.
I'm so glad Gus and Pop aren't here to see this. Ew.
Gonna have ourselves a vision.
Ugh, my head is swimming. What was in that decanter?
It's magic.
Amy.
That sounded like Clem?
You've sure had a hell of a time, huh, Amy? How are you holding up? You know what you have to do now, right?
I don't know. I'm just ready to give up.
Don't do that just yet. I can help you. Follow me.
Ah. Can we save? Yes. Good.
It's just hanging there. How is that even possible? Looks comfortable enough. I really hope that goes back to the cathedral. I know that face from somewhere. It looks a long way down.
Don't you want to follow him into the abyss?
I don't think I can reach it. I don't even think it's real.
If you've got some shrapnel, we can try to figure it.
I don't need to go through that again. I'm supposed to follow Clem. He didn't go that way.
No, he jumped into the abyss.
Take off the mask? I don't want to see what's underneath.
Dang it. Alright, let's jump into the abyss. How often do you get to say that?
Why are we here, Clem? I thought the whole point of this was to talk to the Reaper.
You've got some jumbled thoughts going around your head. You need to get those sorted out.
How am I supposed to do that?
There's some folks who will help you with that.
Hey, Amy.
Denby.
Hello again, Wellard.
Oh God, not you again.
Hey, kiddo.
Dad.
Each of them is here to help you put your thoughts together. I'll just leave you to it. See you soon, Amy.
These people are all what we would call dead. Let's see. Having a time with the abyss. Just hanging out, having a good time in the abyss. We're having our abyss time.
Why did he have to show up again? Dad looks so healthy. It's good to see him back to normal.
So, there's a question of what order I guess you want to talk to them in.
Dad, it's great to see you again.
Great to see you too, kiddo. How have you been?
I've been better. How come you never told me you were a rebel?
Becoming a rebel was my choice to make. I wanted you to live as carefree as possible. The less you knew, the more time you could spend playing with your friends. Being a kid.
I think I understand.
Now come on, we've got work to do. Right, let's get back to work. It's been way too long.
No speed limit? That sounds amazing. It looks like the one in the market district. It's running normally.
It's not plugged into anything.
Dad looks so healthy.
Unfinished business.
So close to being done, and yet so far.
Hey, the old girl's looking almost finished. You've done a great job restoring her, kiddo.
Thanks. It hasn't been easy.
We sure had some great times working on her, didn't we?
I'm not even sure it's real. I don't need to pump any water. It's running fine.
Hey, the old girl's looking almost finished. You've done a great job restoring her, kiddo.
Thanks.
We sure had some great...
Guess we just play with the car.
Okay. Let's get to work.
Ah, crap, I completely forgot. Gordon brought that fan in before. Said it was giving him trouble.
I'll take care of it. Shouldn't be more than a couple minutes.
That's my girl.
We have nothing.
Let's see here. There, kid stuff.
Good going, kiddo. Now we can focus on the car.
That water pump breaks.
Right. Now we can get started.
Yep.
Now, wouldn't you just know it? If it's not one thing, it's another. Nelson's pump was always giving me problems.
I'll take care of it. Not right now. I need to take care of Nelson's water pump for my dad.
See, that's the problem. That's why you never finished it. Yeah. I recognize this problem. I have this problem.
Right. This shouldn't take too long. Done. No sweat.
Nice one. Finally, we can get started. Have you been able to find the missing parts?
Daddy, I'm so sorry. I wanted to finish fixing it. I wanted to have something to remember you by. But I've been so busy running the shop, and then I got sick, and I don't think I'm going to live long enough to be able to do it.
Hey, now, none of that. It's all right. You've been dealt a horrible hand. Worse than most. And you've been so strong through it all. An old car isn't worth your life, kiddo.
I just feel like I'm failing you. I'm so sorry.
Failing me? Amelia Grace Wellard, you stop that nonsense right now. You've already done more with the rebels than I ever did. It's gonna change the world. You've got too much left to live for. Too many people depend on you. You can't give up here.
Okay, I know you're right. I think I just needed to hear someone say it. Thank you, Daddy.
I'm your dad. It's what I do.
It was great seeing you again. I love you.
Love you too, sweetheart.
Very good, Amy. Now jump.
Dang it.
Denby, I'm so sorry. I wish I got to you in time. You didn't deserve this.
Hey, don't apologize. It's not your fault. There's something I need to show you. Come with me.
What's going on?
You know how you've been seeing all those ravens?
Yes, something has been bothering me about them.
So think about it. What exactly is it about them that's bothering you?
The glowing red eyes. Are you suggesting that these ravens with glowing red eyes are not in fact ravens at all, but are in fact little robots sent to spy on us? like all birds. Oh God.
It's just going around in circles.
Remind you of anyone?
It's just a regular raven, like the ones I saw at Fripp Square and Pop's farm. All they do is wait to eat things and make noise.
Sure, that's what ravens do, isn't it?
A raven with red eyes. This is like the one that helped me escape Rockwall. Hang on, I didn't realize just how crazy that sounds. How could a bird help someone escape from jail?
I don't know. Seems kind of weird to me, too.
And very friendly, isn't it?
It doesn't make sense. The ravens I've been seeing with the red eyes, I've never seen another living thing with eyes that glow like that.
What sort of things have you seen that do?
Shards, electric lights, artificial things.
That's right.
So that means these ravens aren't real?
Makes sense to me.
But they fly, and they clearly understand commands.
Whoops.
Of course, they're mechanical. But if that's the case, who's controlling them?
Excellent question. You'll find an answer, I'm sure. You should head back. Don't forget what we talked about.
I won't. Goodbye, Denby. I miss you.
Miss you too, Amy. Take care of yourself.
Ah. Okay, fine.
I thought I killed you.
Indeed. and I almost killed you. Luckily for me, that moment lives on in your memory. Let's go revisit it, shall we? You know, I thought you were done for after our little disagreement. And then when the Reaper swooped in, pure poetry. What was it he said to you anyway? I'm dying to know.
He said he could ease my pain.
Oh, is that all?
No, he said something else. Just as I was blacking out.
That's right, he did. What was it?
I can't remember.
Can't remember or don't want to remember. Mental blocks sure are problematic, aren't they?
There's blood dripping from the end of it. I'm feeling a sense of deja vu. He's blocking my way. That's him. That's the Reaper. He's saying something to me, but what?
Me.
I've looked better. You're in my way.
Yes, that's the nature of mental blocks. What are you going to do about it?
I can't get to him. This stupid guard is in the way. Creepy looking thing. You're in my way.
Yes, that's the nature of mental blocks. What are you going to do about it?
I'd rather not get too close. It looks dangerous. I can't reach it from here. I don't know if it's real anyway.
Oh, that's a syringe.
That looks awfully familiar. I'm really sick of you.
Yep.
A blade. Looks like the one on the end of the guard's rifle. It's probably sharp. I'll keep my distance.
Also kind of big.
That's him. Talking to myself isn't going to get me anywhere.
Uh-huh.
Relax. I've come to ease your pain. I'm a doctor.
Doctor?
Get everything sorted?
I think so, yes.
Great. Time to send you back.
Thanks for all your help, Clem. I'm sorry about...
Don't you worry about that, Amy. I went out helping the rebels. Couldn't have asked for much more than that. Now you get yourself back, and you do your part. I know everything will turn out fine.
It'd be that one doctor she ran into at the Ministry of Medicine.
Take off the mask?
Aw. Oh well.
That was intense, but I only have more questions. I've got to find the Reaper. Only he has the answers. Wait a minute. Where did you come from?
Oh. Why you keep deleting some of these?
It's got a piece of paper in its beak. Okay, you've obviously brought me something. Let's have it.
Lady Twiner. Montgomery White. Painted over a period of 6 weeks, White's portrait of Lord Reginald Twiner's daughter was his last major piece before turning to a career in medicine. Ah! Montgomery White. Renowned for the expression in her face, White admitted that the lady's somethings concealed some secret. Eyes? Eyes. That the lady's eyes concealed some secret. What that may be has been the subject of much speculation. One of the better-known modern portraits, it remains in the Twiner family private collection. Okay. Is Montgomery White the doctor? Maybe.
She watches o'er us all, protecting with her light. Though shadows may grow tall, she won't give up her fight.
Interesting.
It's empty. I don't need to go through that again.
Aww. I also know which book that was born out of.
I hope you were successful in your communion with the Reaper.
So the answer is yes. Ish. At least you know the one we saw.
What can I help you with?
Have you experienced the vision?
I attempted to, yes, but the Reaper did not see fit to grace me with his presence. Admittedly, I was a bit disappointed, but I plan to try again soon. I know he will speak to me when the time is right.
I'll speak to you later.
I look forward to it.
Yes.
Well, did you have the vision?
I did. It was certainly something.
Wonderful. I won't ask any more. Each person's vision is unique and private, but I hope it gave you the guidance you were seeking.
Oh, it did. Believe me. Have a good day.
May death come to you swiftly, fellow seeker.
Yes. Oh, something happened. We talked to everyone again.
Hi, Ellie.
Hello, Amy.
Have you had a chance to speak with the Reaper?
I haven't had the vision yet, no. My time will come.
I'm going to go now. We'll talk later.
Have a blessed day. May death come for you swiftly.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yay, Death.
Hey, Norman.
Yes?
Have you experienced the vision?
Indeed. I'd rather not discuss our conversation, but we had good words for one another.
I'll see you later, Norman.
May death come for you swiftly, Amy.
Jesus Christ.
It's empty. I shouldn't bother them. They're really into their music.
Okay. Warning, I'm going to talk to the little girl again. Heavens help us.
Hello there.
Hi.
Has the Reaper ever sent you a vision?
No, Jess told my mommy I was too young for that. But the other night, I had a dream where I talked to the Reaper. He told me that when my time came, I would see my daddy again and have lots of candy.
Have a good day.
May the Reaper take you.
Real marble. Nice.
Yeah, I think this is... Oh, well. It's a costume! Oh. Well, there are several people I could show this to.
Does this mean anything to you?
That is a lovely painting. I've never seen it before, though.
Hey, Jess. Does this mean anything to you?
Where did you get that?
It doesn't look like it.
Raven brought it to me. I know that sounds ridiculous, but
No! No, not at all. That painting, it's what started all of this. This is clearly a sign from the Reaper.
I'm not quite following here.
18 years ago, I was keeping my friend Wilson company while he was on a lottery job for Tiberius. He had been sent to fix a water pump, and the ruins of the building it was in had a copy of that painting. When he had finished the job, I asked him to get it for me, and...
And?
Apparently, Wilson had green lung, but hadn't told me. He said he was getting the vaccine for his sister. I saw a raven right before Wilson collapsed. The Reaper appeared shortly after. He came to claim Wilson's soul. That's when I had my epiphany.
Where did this all happen?
It was in Sector 67, in a collapsed building next to a parking lot.
There we are.
It's a long shot, but it might be worth investigating.
I can only hope the Reaper visits you so you may find peace.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep, that's what we needed. I don't think we need to show this around to anyone else right now. There, Sector 67. We still can get it. There's something in that train. The reactor is where the resistance is staying. This looks remarkably similar to that area. All right, let's look around.
A Dunstan Algonquin. Cheap and reliable, but not the most fun to drive. Or so I've heard. Doesn't look like he's been here that long.
It's a dead body. Yes.
Nothing useful. Looks like all the oil leaked out of the engine a long time ago. I don't think I should get too close.
You're gathering parts from everything else.
Huh. An old German model. The aristocracy must have missed this one during the Purge. It looks like an old record player. It looks like an...
Ah. Clearly there's something going on with this one.
completely ruined. It's still in surprisingly good condition. This is still in really good condition. It might be worth having. It's of no use to me. Picked clean. Not surprising. The parts for this were rare even before the bombs. Another old road sign. Doesn't look like people could go very fast around here.
Here we have a
Just
skeleton.
another victim of the wastes. Looks like he's been here for decades. Just a memory of whatever this building used to be.
There's the portrait.
I really hope I don't end up like this.
Yes. Part of the problem is she does have green lungs, so that's the thing. Unstable Deus is with us again. Jim, is this what the Carolinas look like when the temperatures are below freezing? Yes, yes. Well, it's usually when it snows about a quarter of an inch. That's when it gets like this. Actually, no. Funnily enough, although it's not as bad as I used to live in Atlanta, and when it snows in Atlanta, it's far worse than it is out here. Out here, it's not great. It's not great. We people don't know how to deal with it still, but it's one of those things where you get you're used to different things, right? Although every now and then I see someone from the north joking about folks down here just panicking when it snows and because they're coming down here and I just sort of every now and then I'm like, oh, you've moved down here, have you? How are you enjoying the hurricanes? Weather changes in different regions. As someone from the upper Midwest, even 2 feet of snow doesn't look like this. Yeah, I used to live in back when I was living in it wasn't even that far north. It was northern Kentucky. We used to get snow every winter. I should point out this was in the 80s, and so the climate was a little different back then. It's hard to have to explain this because it's like I got to wrap my brain around the frame of reference, right? But we got snow regularly there, and so I grew up somewhat. Part of my growing up there was snow, and then I spent a lot of time in Myrtle Beach. So that was back where I was. I'm from Myrtle Beach originally, and I ended up moving back there to go to college, and so spent a good deal of time there. And so it was. I have been more in the South than I have in the North at this point in my life, so I probably would need to readjust if I was living back north again at any point, and before my death inevitably comes.
An old water pump. Kind of reminds me of the reactor in Sector 82.
But yeah, there's a lot of panicking down here when it snows. But I was inured to it enough as a kid that I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it's all right. Do you have? You don't. Okay, well, that's all right. Well, we'll just sort of sit here for a while until until the snow melts.
There she is, Lady Twiner.
There's something hollow under there? Okay.
It seems to be running fine.
Ah! And the assumption is that it was talking about her eyes concealing a secret. Part of me really wants to go and put this page that we have back in the book because I know what book it's missing from. There's a chance we might have to. I'm going to offer another content warning here potentially because I don't know if this is going to look horrific or not. This is not a horror game, but you never know when they're going to do shit, do you?
So this is Lady Twiner. I wonder who she was. The face is incredibly lifelike. I almost expect her to start talking to me. What's wrong with her eyes? There are a couple of weird bulges here, as though there was something hidden behind the eyes.
Yeah, quite literally.
It definitely feels like there's something behind the canvas, but I can't rip it with my bare hands.
Oh, good thing I have a handy twisted piece of metal here. Ah! Oh god, I have to actually tear... Oh my god. Okay. Content warning for anyone who has things about eye injuries. This is... We're tearing away the surface of a painting, so I expect it won't be... I don't know how terrible it's going to look, but just in case, if you have this, you may want to look away for a moment. Because I'm going to go ahead and start, I'm going to start chipping away here. It's like, we have to actually do it. Yes, confirmed, I hate paintings. That's clearly the message to take away here. Alright. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay. They didn't get as detailed as perhaps we thought they were going to. There's a key and a token.
This can't be a coincidence. Someone is leaving me a trail. I really hope this thing wasn't valuable. I wonder what this key unlocks. This symbol looks familiar. Where have I seen it before?
You have seen it on the side of a train.
It seems to be...
Can you do anything with this water pump?
I don't see how... A piece of metal... I don't see how...
Alright. Alright. Oh, that was handy. I'm gonna save the game, and there's a thing I want to do. Just because it's bothering me. We might get arrested immediately, I don't know. But I kind of want to go see if I can put it back in the book.
Hello, Marishka.
Amy, get away from here. Guards are looking for you. Be careful.
Thanks for the warning, Marishka, but I'll be fine.
Please go, Amy. Do not stay here.
Wanted, Amy Wellard, for crimes including breaking and entering, theft, trespassing, and murder. Wellard is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is instructed to report to the Ministry of Energy.
I'm just gonna head to the well.
Nelson is probably one of the smartest people I know. Hi, Nelson.
Amy, you shouldn't stick around too long. The guards have been looking for you.
No, it's fine. Everything is fine.
I think I'd like to read for a while, if that's okay.
Of course. What subject are you interested in reading about?
I'd like to read something about art.
Wonderful. I think I've got just the book for you.
As if you remember. Page missing.
Nelson, does this mean anything to you?
Ah, yes. That page is from one of my art books. There was a young lady here several years ago who was reading it, and when she got to that page, she became very upset and tore it out. Ran off, screaming about the Reaper. It was very odd.
The Reaper?
Yes, I think she said something about having seen him. As I said, it was many years ago. It's difficult to remember.
That's fine. Thanks for the information.
See, that at least, you know, fills in some gaps. Sort of.
The well's been filled.
Like, we know this already. We know this stuff about, you know, what's going on already.
I'm not interested in any of the...
But anyway, no, I just wanted to see if there was more to unearth there, and there was. So here we are. This is a token for this train, I would wager. Are we getting closer to the end? Maybe. We're starting to hit that point where we're going back to locations a little bit more. So maybe? Perhaps? I don't know.
This symbol looks familiar. Where have I seen it before?
Where? Where indeed?
This door... locked. How odd.
Hello, greetings, Schmelzer. Thank you for coming. We're just exploring the apocalyptic wasteland a little bit more and actually putting some things together. We're on the run currently, as we have we killed a guard and escaped a number of weeks ago, as we were about to be executed as a member of the Resistance who found out the truth that they're hoarding vaccine. Here we go.
Fits perfectly. What was that noise?
So, my thought is that the Reaper is the is that doctor that helped us at the Ministry of Medicine. That's my thought.
The sign on these says, "Do not store anything heat sensitive inside."
And that was also the case because the way that the cult leader, I can't remember her name, described her encounter with the Reaper, it would fit that that was also just a guy dressed as the Reaper, possibly.
What are those doing in here?
Books? How dare they?
These look like the types of books Nelson collects. That thing looks really old. Looks like this is where the bulk of the controls are. That's where the locomotive's guts are. There can't be anything of much use in there now, though.
Is there something?
I wonder if this is what caused the train to make its final stop.
Right.
Interesting. Looks like some kind of manually controlled fuel regulator.
Yeah. Yes. Let's see. And we'll start poking things now.
There's nothing in there but dust.
Ah! Okay. We're supposed to do stuff with this, clearly. I'll do that in a minute.
It's no good. Looks like it all evaporated quite a while ago. That leads further into the train. I can't think of anything I could do with that. It doesn't seem to do much. Makes sense, considering the train's not using any fuel right now. Not giving a very accurate reading currently. This is most likely the horn. I think I remember Dad having this exact same one in his shop.
Really? Look at those suggestive pixels. No.
Not giving a very accurate reading currently. You've seen one button, you've seen them all.
Have you?
I have no clue what this does. Not giving a very accurate reading currently. Not giving a very... It's unmarked, just like everything else. Most of the text is faded, but I can make out the words McNulty Hatch Corp at the bottom.
Ooh.
Looks like some kind of release switch. You've seen one button? Seems to be for the intercom.
Okay, so clearly there is something we're supposed to do with all of this, but we don't have the information we need to know
A gear shift.
what we're supposed to do. So before we mess around with it, let's see if we can get further into the train.
Not much point in pulling it, considering we aren't moving.
Yes, but we could stop moving existentially. Anyway, okay. Maybe not exact. Is the existential the word that I'm looking for here? It's not really. There is this thing. A lot of people use the word existential to mean surreal, and I'm thinking of something somewhere in between. There are other movements that I'm trying to... They're the existentialist movement, but the... I can't remember. All right. It's the... There's something... Something similar. Who knows? Anyway, existentialism versus something else.
I don't think I've ever seen them grow so lush indoors, or anywhere for that matter.
Oh, but my intention was to pull the handbrake and stop the spirit of the train from moving. The idea of the train. Which would be more surreal, I think, probably.
I don't think I've ever seen them grow so lush indoors, or anywhere for that matter.
Yeah, we already did that. Okay. Trees.
It's beautiful.
Tree.
A footstool. Is there really a need for comfort in a place like this?
No comfort, only despair.
Looks like some kind of storage hatch.
Ah, that might be operated from the hatch release at the front.
It leads to the next car. It's beautiful.
We like trains. We enjoy trains in this house.
I wish I could put my feet up on something, but now isn't the time. I don't want to accidentally damage them. I might accidentally harm it if I do that. There's a little plaque on it that says McNulty Hatch Corp.
Yeah.
It's sealed tight. I won't be able to open it like this.
Yeah, so probably you gotta open it at the front. Okay. Yes.
Someone around here has got a green thumb. Someone around...
Okay, that door is boarded off. Is that a bed? I can't tell. Or it could just be the way the light's falling.
That's a lot of books. It rivals Nelson's collection. It doesn't look to be in very good shape.
You have a part for a record player.
It's blank. A bunch of records. I've never even heard of half of these artists.
Oh dear. Okay, here's our little instructional page here. Hatch, person, checkmark, briefcase, arrow, hatch, X. Okay, so this hatch is for briefcases and not for people, I think is what that means. Okay, to unlock 251 and then pull the lever down. That seems reasonable. There's no warning the TSA was here. I know, right? Okay. 251. Write that down, someone. I don't have paper with me, but I do have a phone. I will write these numbers down, and then apparently you pull a lever down. 251 lever, depending on which side of the room you're standing.
I don't need any notepaper.
Don't you?
Messing around with this record player isn't my highest priority right now.
Isn't it?
I probably shouldn't mess around with that. I haven't got time for reading right now.
Let's see. I swear that looks... I don't know. It could just be a rug. I think it's just a rug, and yeah, it's like part of a torn rug, and the sunlight is streaming down through that boarded window. I see now. I understand. I understand everything now, except for most other things.
Messing around with this record player isn't my...
All right. I want to hear the recordings Eric's son left in this world. No, that's for later. When we feel like staring into oblivion. It's been a while since I've read that one. I actually am forgetting bits. Okay. Yes, that's the switch. Well, there are 5 buttons here.
Hello? Nothing.
Okay.
It's stuck in place. I'm not sure
I'm just gonna mess with everything.
It would probably disintegrate if I touched it. I can't think of anything I could do with that. I'm not sure.
Okay, alright. This is button number 2. This is button number 5. This is button number 1. And this is the lever.
I think I heard something coming from the next car.
At least you knew who Eric Zahn was. That was too obscure a reference for most people. Ah, yeah, thank you. Now, I have a friend who's very into Lovecraft, and he was working on a thing that he asked me to come and sort of help him with, sort of a little creative thing. And I don't know if he is still working on that project or not, so I won't say too much about it, but it was associated with Lovecraft. And one of the things that he drew on for that was the music of Eric Zahn. And so it was like, okay, I'll read this story. That was a while ago. Although, not cosmically speaking a while ago, but it was only a short time ago that way. But, I don't know, if we think within the last... within the last 15 years, I'll say that. That seems about right, within the last 15 years, maybe. Ah!
Hold it right there.
I'm
Keep
surprised.
your hands where I can see them and don't make any sudden moves. Now, who are you and what are you doing on my train?
I'm Amy, and I was just leaving. I'm Amy, and I was just looking around. I'm Amy, and I'm a friend. I think it's best if we do not mess with this person. I will say that I am a friend, and hope that that does not get us immediately shot.
My name is Amy Wellard, and I mean you no harm. I'm a friend.
A friend, huh? You
Yes.
can't fool me.
Friend.
I know a scavenger when I see one. Lucky for you, I'm not in the mood to clean up any messes today. I'll let you see yourself out, but if you touch anything, you're gonna have to answer to old Betsy here. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, like, I'm not
Come
a
on out
scavenger.
here, you old flea bag. Ain't nothing too dangerous out here.
Kitty!
I know. I'll feed you now, you old beggar.
Cosmically speaking, what is time? It sounds like something you'd be interested in. Yeah, I like I said, I don't know if... I honestly, I don't know if it's ever going to... a thing that will ever be picked back up again, or if it was picked up, or what. I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to. I really need to talk to him. But, just as a matter of course. But, hopefully one day. But, anyway, that being said... Hey, there's a hatch here. Let's save again, just in case. And it says, and yes, my favorite reference is the entity behind the silver key. I also read the silver key at the... I've also read the silver key. I cannot remember. There's a lot I can't remember, but I mean, I read the cycle that the silver key was part of. So, So like the dream cycle at the time. Okay. And it helped me to understand everything.
It's empty.
No, hatches for briefcase, not for people. It said. The TSA will be very upset with us. Anyway, do we want to leave? We could leave. Just leave the poor old lady alone. Older lady. Let's mess with the controls some more. Yeah. I don't think it's going to do anything. We've already pushed a lot of buttons. It is through the silver key that we are able to understand anything at all. Yes. Yes. Oh, you know what? I think I've saved the game. Let's go ahead and try to talk to her. Some more.
Still here, huh? I got my eye on you, so don't try anything funny.
Kitty. Kitty. All right. I have this terrible desire to pet the cat.
He's busy. I'll leave him alone.
Okay, we're not going to pet the cat.
He looks better fed than most people I know.
Understatement of the year right there.
She doesn't look to be the friendly type. Hi.
What is it?
Do you live here all alone?
No, I got that fatso over there to keep me company, and it suits me fine.
Surviving in the wastes can't be easy.
Take a look around. I got everything I need here, and what I don't have, I go out and find.
So, you're a scavenger?
No, I don't go into places where people live and take their things.
I'm not here to steal anything. I didn't even know you lived here.
Uh-huh.
Jim's next game confirmed, Stray. I've thought about it, I will admit, but I've got so many other games that I need to play. And also, it's... The thing about Stray, I did consider it. I might at some point. I have watched some playthroughs, and it looks... How do I put this? It looks fine. It looks absolutely fine. But also a tad finite. I'm not sure if I can express this properly. There feels like there is kind of... From the playthroughs I've seen of it, there's very much an A to B to C to D thing. Which is fine. I mean, that's kind of here, too. So, I mean, it's not like that's a bad thing necessarily. I don't know. I haven't fully thought about I haven't fully unfurled my thoughts on Stray. I might play it at some point. I don't know. I've got a lot to get to before then. Where did you find all this stuff?
Where did you find all these things? I haven't seen living trees in the wastes for a long time.
I didn't find it anywhere. It's all mine. I just carted it all out here when I shacked up on this train.
Where did you come from?
That's really none of your business.
Aww.
Is your record player broken?
Yes. I accidentally knocked it over a couple of weeks ago.
I noticed you're missing the arm.
Huh. You have one yourself?
I did a long time ago, but not anymore. You know, I'm pretty good with machines. I could fix it for you if you want.
Well, I won't say no, but don't expect any sort of reward for doing it.
That's fine. I'm not looking for one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is, and it doesn't try to be anything else. Stray 2, hopefully, will likely be more open world, I would imagine. Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, open world isn't the be-all, end-all. I'm fine with linear stories. I'm not expressing very well what my... And it's not even a complaint with Stray. It's just that I feel as though... I could play it, probably. I think it's that... Here's the problem with it being relatively finite. It's not that it's finite. It's that I saw a number of playthroughs, and not all the way to the end, but it's one of those things where you see so much of it, even, if you're in like the streaming world, you've seen some chunk of Stray, probably, right? So I'd like enough time to go by that I have forgotten, if that makes sense, so that I can see it with sort of fresh eyes. Because I'd want to savor each tiniest bit of it if I possibly could, and I feel like I can't do that as well if I'm already thinking of crap that I've seen before on this one. I'm not that way with all games necessarily, but see, this even gets into a deeper point that I don't know if I should spend time ranting about, but it has to do with the whole thing with, dare I talk about this? Do I want to waste everyone's time by talking about this? I don't know. Yeah, you're good at uncovering rants. Yeah, it does seem that way, doesn't it? Yes. Dare I? I think someone's trying to. No, everything's fine. Okay. Let me. Hang on. Hang on a second. Okay. So. This may not be a long rant, but I saw people talking about this again recently. This is from actually a little while back. There was a study done, and unfortunately, I do not have the information for the study in front of me, nor am I going to take the time to look it up right now. This is not one of those kinds of streams. But we are in the middle of a video game, and we will get back to it, damn it. But the thing being, there was a study done, and not too long ago, and within the last few years, where I remember reading the article where they first talked about this study, and I don't have, like I said, I don't have this in front of me. But I am remembering that the study was about spoilers, and about some people do not like spoilers, some people are okay with them. And so there was a study done where they had people read a story, and they gave away the ending of the story to like half the group, and then the control group they just let read the story normally. And what they found out was that, and I'm going to be very specific in my wording here, because the article was, and this I remember. The group that had the spoilers ahead of time enjoyed reading the story more than the people who did not have the spoilers. And that's fine. I get that. But people were then taking that and, of course, doing what social media does, as saying, see, it's proof, it's proof, now I'm going to spoil everything. It's what you want, even if you don't think it does. Even if you don't think it is. Even people who say they enjoy spoilers, even people who say they don't like spoilers, enjoyed this more. And the thing is, from all, and again, I don't have the text of the study itself, but from all indications that I saw at the time, the study did not take into account the fact that reading a story and figuring out a story are separate activities. And that some people actually like figuring out a story. I don't think the study asked them, did you enjoy figuring out the story? because then I think the results might have been a bit different. Is what I'm saying. So, like, and that's part of the whole freaking reason I play adventure games, so you know which side of the fence I fall on here, right? I like figuring crap out. And no, I don't like to have spoilers if I can possibly avoid it for things that I think that I'm interested in enough that I want to go through and experience it in that way that I don't have too many other impressions of it shouting at me from the back of my head, because my brain does that to me. It will yell with a chorus of 1,000 voices. Every single impression I've had of a thing before sometimes. Would that I could pick which things I can hear. Anyway. So I saw that come up in discussion again recently on some Discord server. I can't remember which one. I'm on a million of them. And it's this thing where it's like, yeah, I much prefer to not have the spoilers because I like figuring stuff out. And even if I would statistically enjoy reading the story more, knowing more about it ahead of time, that's only one activity. And I want to suck all the joy I can out of any story that I receive. So I think I get more joy overall from figuring out the story and then also reading the story. And you can also get to read the story more than once. If you start over, it's like, wait, now that I know it, some people do that. That's more time they get out of it, right? So that's kind of my position on that. But so anyway, it's going to probably be a while before I play the game Stray, because I know too much right now. But hopefully I'll forget more later, and then I'll play it. Anyway, enough of that. Back to the game. Thank you all. Thank you everyone for enduring that rant. Now let's move on to happier topics like the Reaper.
What do you know about the Reaper?
The Reaper? I remember hearing some rumors about a guy they were calling the Reaper, way back around the time the plague started. Supposedly there were some burrs that meant he was coming to kill you, but I never ran into him myself. Hadn't thought about that in years, actually.
Shall we give the catchphrase?
I just want you to know, I've got the perfect life.
Good for you. My life would be perfect if you got off my train.
I'll just be on my way.
Unstable Days is saying, one day we'll clip all of Jim's rants and put them into a rant compilation. Honestly, I don't know if they really qualify as rants so much. I'm much less angry, I think, in most of these than I think one might consider the baseline for rants, but who knows? Anyway, let's mess her up by showing her this porn page. Rant compilation. Hey, Lord Conti, greetings to you. Thank you for coming. Let's see. We came unclemmed. I'll delete that one. Let's see.
I haven't got time to be looking at your collection of junk, Missy.
All right. Let's fix the record player.
This is just like the one Mom and Dad used to have. It looks like it's missing the needle, but fixing it wouldn't be too tough.
Conti is saying, greetings to you as well, Rant. Rant Lord. I agree about the story thing. Let me unravel it.
This is where the sound comes out. Still intact. That's good.
Yeah. And again, I don't bear any ill will towards people who don't like or who like spoilers. That's fine. You enjoy a thing any way you want to. But it's just, you know, not my
It's a
thing.
little corroded, but it looks like there's a couple of flowers on this plaque. Must be the logo of the company that made this. I can't think of anything I could do with that. It seems to spin all right. I don't want to risk damaging it any further.
Don't you? Don't you? All right.
You don't see many of these around anymore. I don't see how I can use that there. Fits perfectly. That should work now.
There was a bracket there.
A perfect fit. No, it's fine where it is. It seems to I can't think of...
All right.
This crank is what gets the turntable spinning. Turning the crank wouldn't do much, considering there's no records to play.
Oh, they're right above the... Okay.
I probably shouldn't mess around with that.
Okay, fine.
It's blank. Hi.
What is it?
Fix your record player.
Your record player's fixed?
Is that right? And what exactly are you expecting from me in return?
Nothing.
Kindness!
I'm not here to get something from you. Why I'm here has nothing to do with you.
Well, that's how the world works. Nobody does something good for nothing.
Some people do. I think you've been out here so long, you've forgotten humans can be good once in a while.
Can they?
This world eats good people for breakfast.
But they
I
are
don't know
delicious.
what you're looking for, but I hope you find it.
I'll just be on my way.
Alrighty.
Okay. We have other things we could show her. Good God. So many things I could erase.
He's busy. I'll leave him alone.
Hey, where did you find that?
Over near Sector 67, do you know anything about it? I noticed the logo on the coin was the same as on this train.
It's the logo for South Coast Transit.
There we
They
go.
own this railroad along with the public transportation system in the city. That there is a subway token. Before the blast, people would use those to ride the train underneath the city.
Really? I had no idea there was an underground train in the city.
Doesn't surprise me. Almost all the stations collapsed after the blast. There's only one left standing.
Where can I find it?
It's not too far from the quarantine zone. Just head up Roth Avenue and keep your eye out for the Wallies. The station is right next to it. Be careful down there. There's a whole network of tunnels.
Oh, no.
Don't want you to get lost.
Don't worry. I'm not planning on wandering around any tunnel mazes.
Please don't wander around any tunnel mazes. It will make me sad. All right. I think that's all we can get out of this interaction. We've gotten a new location. That's surely that's enough.
It doesn't seem to do much. Makes sense, considering the train's not using any fuel right now.
Okay. Here's the new location. Hang on, I'm gonna need just a moment. Just a second. I will be right back. I have returned. There was something I was going to... Let me just go ahead and mute this thing that's over here. All right. Hello. All right. Where am I? Wally's, it says. As we follow the breadcrumbs, the trail of breadcrumbs, breadcrumbs. I have this terrible desire to save every couple of minutes.
I never knew about these stations. It's surprising that the aristocracy hasn't sealed it off. I can just see the wall that's separating the rest of the city from the quarantine zone.
I'm pouring more tea now. Vitally important. But that is how the stream operates. Should have done this while I was off screen, but no.
That bit of sign looks like it's just a strong gust of wind away from falling down. I think Wally's used to be a pretty famous department store. I vaguely remember Mom and Dad talking about it. The letter L looks like it's pretty close to falling off.
Do we need a letter L?
I'm sure this was a nice-looking place at one point.
And a happy corpse.
I wonder if this person died trying to escape the quarantine zone.
It's like anytime any scene has a gallows in it, I always sort of describe it as a merry little gallows because I can't stop myself. Shall we rummage through the corpse's pockets?
Nothing useful that I can see.
Yes, we must scavenge properly.
No thanks. I can't reach it from down here.
Don't you want an L? No one wants to take the L, as it were. Ha 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 ha.
That won't have any effect on the sign. That won't... My trusty crossbow. I've got one bolt.
I only have one bolt left. I don't know what I would need the L for yet, so I don't feel like shooting it, but... Adventure games, huh?
That did it. This thing survived being shot and falling. I'd say it's pretty sturdy. Kind of big to be lugging around too much, though.
No more bolts. You're out of crossbow bolts.
I think Wally's used to be a pretty famous department store. I vaguely remember Mom and Dad talking about it.
But, thing being, if they wasted animation on letting you shoot it down, then obviously you gotta use it for something.
It's in surprisingly good condition. I can't think of anything I could do with that.
This looks delightful.
It goes back up to the street.
There are mannequins here.
It's just hanging there. That's kind of grotesque. It's not every day you get to see an underground river. The damage from the blast really did a number on this station. Looks like a place you'd put a coin or something.
Ah.
How on earth did this get down here?
I mean, you know, someone carried it.
Looks like that's the way in. I can't get to it. The river is blocking my path.
Okay, well, let's do that then.
There, that should work. It's stuck. Well, it accepted my token.
Huh?
Great. Another collapse.
See, navigating subways is a thing that it's one of those almost fun activities when you're learning about them. Let me see. I mean, I could delete everything, really. Why keep anything? Ever.
Handy to know where you are. It's hard to see what's up there from down here. Formerly part of the ceiling, from the looks of things. That goes back to the flooded entrance of the station. Look at that. There was a whole underground train network in this area. Amazing. Creepy. Those are some nice gloves it's got on, though.
Mm-hmm.
That leads into a dark alcove.
Ah, yes.
I'm glad this didn't decide to collapse 5 minutes later.
A subway collapse. Unstable Days is saying, a subway collapse? This is a metropolitan remodeling opportunity. No, you see, I'm not playing City Skylines right now. Alas. Alas, alack. Much though the temptation is there to try to fix it. With this game, with this interface, I cannot. There's a... I just recently, I've been posting clips I've been resizing and posting clips from my various streams to TikTok recently. And I just posted one of the ones from City Skylines. It amuses me. Okay. Let me head back down because there's... Before I check that room out, there's stuff in here we can...
Fortunately, it won't come off the wall.
We might be able to get.
It's just out of reach.
Everything is just out of reach.
It's just out of reach. I'm out of ammo.
Dang it.
There's a trapdoor at the top of these stairs, but it seems to be locked from the other side.
Okay. Okay, yeah, there's not a lot then that we need here.
There's no way I'm going to be able to get through there.
Too many things just out of reach.
It's tangled up too tightly to undo by hand.
Okay.
It's wearing the tattered remains of some kind of sports uniform. Thankfully, it looks like it's been abandoned.
We need to put a little for sale sign out in front of it. Foreclosure.
Now there's an interesting outfit. Not my style. These clothes would probably fall apart if I touched them. Nice accessory. Really sells the sporting image.
I mean,
You can't have too many weapons.
exactly.
Looks like this person was crushed by the ceiling. What an awful end. It goes up to the next floor.
Mm-hmm. Or can you have too many weapons? I don't know.
Nice dress. I wonder when that style was last in fashion. I don't think it's fit to be worn. Nothing on there worth taking. Still on the rack, though not in very good shape. A nice piece of rope and a freed mannequin. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes.
Slightly frayed in some places, but overall it should hold up.
And we crawl back down there. Get these nice gloves that you commented on.
Creepy. Those are some nice gloves it's got on, though. They're not in bad shape. Won't be much use if I need to protect my hands, though.
I'm just gonna save over it. Stairs. A little later.
An old shop vac. I haven't seen one in ages.
Ah.
These don't look to be in very good condition. The way back down to the first floor.
Yes. Oh, stoves.
This fridge still looks like it's doing okay. Seems to be full of fishing equipment. Appliances.
And yet, they've gone to the trouble of hanging shards down here, so people must have been through here at some point.
Looks like this is my only way up. I'll bet these are the controls for the elevator, assuming they still work.
You have to remember, this is in largely a post-elevator society.
Doesn't look like they're even worth examining for parts. It won't have any parts I need. These things are pretty useless. Not surprisingly, it's empty. I'm going to need something to open up the side if I want to scavenge for parts. I can't get to anything inside. The display case is sealed. I can't reach inside the display case.
Well, I think there's something I have here that might be helpful with that. But first...
This isn't in as good a condition as I thought. Only useful part in here is this fuse. I might as well hang on to it.
There we go.
It's still in relatively good condition.
We're now having a sale on appliances.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Excellent. I don't know why we need the anchor, but here we have it.
This anchor is pretty small. I don't think it would work on anything larger than a dinghy.
You're just randomly taking things. We're not even in the subway anymore.
Shut tight. I won't be able to pry it open with my bare hands.
Okay, let's see if there's any power
Dead.
still.
Although, I might be able to take a look inside and get it working again.
Ah, okay. Alright. Use our trusty multi-tool here.
There. That wasn't so tough.
Piece of shrapnel. First tool we've actually come across.
Poking around in there with my fingers probably isn't the best idea.
Okay.
These won't help any. They're not made of rubber.
Alright. Really? Are we using the shrapnel for this too?
I've already gotten it open.
Yeah, it's just for opening things. Let's poke around inside there with a baseball bat. I'm sure that'll be good. Put the fuse in, maybe?
I sure hope this works.
Aha!
The elevator car looks to be stuck between floors. Here goes nothing.
Cool, cool. Here we are in the spacious top floor. It's not even the top floor, actually. This is the top floor. Down here is the penultimate floor. This is no longer a subway. And I refuse to call it such. Okay.
A bunch of old office furniture, from the look of it. Looks like that's my next destination.
Really?
That pile of rubble forms a ramp up to the opening. If I could get up there, I'd be able to climb it.
You see a hole in the wall and have to just investigate it.
I'm guessing this used to support the structure before it collapsed. That pile of rubble forms a ramp up to the opening.
Okay, right. So you gotta get up there.
A bunch of old office furniture, from the look of it. A bunch...
Girder.
I'm guessing this used to support the structure before it collapsed.
Okay, I got it. I think I know what we're supposed to do.
There's nothing worth salvaging here. Not exactly the most convenient way to travel, but it's something. Not a bad idea.
Yep.
They say necessity is the mother of invention.
Yep.
Looks like that's my way up.
Climb! I'm sure this is perfectly safe.
That was more of a climb than I anticipated. What is this place?
Not a clue. But we scrolled a bit, so it must be important. Oh, look at that. Shape of a raven. A bird of some kind. It's odd how more people aren't aware how many inventions fail the first time, and the second, third, fourth.
It looks like a giant raven. Seeing that thing gliding around the sky would definitely be intimidating. I wonder if there was once a raven in there.
Who knows?
Reminds me of the one in the rebel hideout. There's nothing inside except an old birdcage liner. I'd rather not touch it. There's nothing on it. It looks... I don't know the first thing about hang gliding. I'd probably just fall straight down to the ground.
The reason for a lot of those visions people had of giant birds.
Ugh, looks like it's got fungus growing out of it.
A giant raven.
A sketch of the Reaper. Lots of little design notes written around the sides. Messy. Someone should really clean this place up. I don't need them. I wouldn't want to ruin the drawing. Those look to be mostly medical textbooks.
Books!
I can't reach it. Not that I'd want to, anyway. I haven't got time for reading now.
Tromp heavily.
I had something like this when I was a kid. A jar of dirt where bugs lived.
Lots of stuff.
Reminds me of an old dress-up doll I used to have when I was a kid. I'm not sure I can see anything useful to do there. I guess this is the Reaper's base of operations. It's fake, I hope.
E. Graven's probably where he keeps an eye, or he or she, they. That doctor, I think, is who it is. Keeps an eye on things through the eyes of the ravens.
An old radio and some kind of electronic music equipment. They've surely been scavenged for parts. Nice. I've never heard one of these played before. An old radio and some kind of That leads out to a hallway with some more rooms and some stairs.
Okay. Don't let me mess with the locker.
Just as I suspected. Empty. I'm not a musician or a thief.
Go!
It's too high to reach.
Take all the things.
It's too high to reach.
You must know the adventurer's creed. Take everything that isn't nailed down! Okay, here we are. Oh my god!
Aha! Just what I thought. They're mechanical.
Yep.
Weird. I wonder what these are for.
Probably trying to find a cure to the plague.
These look like security monitors. What are they doing here?
And if it is nailed down, take it for even more resources, yes. And if it's nailed down, bring a claw hammer.
Anatomy, infectious diseases, biology, quite a collection. Full of lots of unmarked bottles. I wonder what they're for. These look like...
Okay.
Aha! Just what I thought. They're mechanical.
Yes, yes.
Weird. I wonder what these are for. Full of lots of unmarked bottles. I wonder what they're for. Anatomy, infectious diseases, biology, quite a collection. These look like security monitors. What are they doing here? These look like...
Well, the dude left a trail of breadcrumbs for you.
These look like anatomy, full of lots of... Aha! Weird.
I don't know if there's anything we can do here. Like, I mean, aside from smashing all of this, which would be a terrible idea.
These look like full of... These look weird.
Montgomery White is probably... I think that the Reaper is Montgomery White, but we'll see. And I think that Montgomery White is probably that doctor we met at the Ministry. I don't know. Yeah, all we've done is just confirmed they're mechanical. I don't think there's anything we can pick up here.
Full of lots.
All right, never mind. All right, yeah, there's not a lot we can. All right. Just wanted to look at it, I guess. Oh! I have some questions about the laws of physics right now.
Amy Wellard, you found me. I was hoping you would.
How did you...
I realize you probably have many questions. I can give you all the answers you need. But first, allow me to make myself more presentable.
So you are human?
Yes. I'm sorry to disappoint you if you were expecting more.
I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. You told me you were a doctor.
Yes, Dr. Edwin Aquino, at your service. I was once the leader of the Green Lung vaccine development team, but after learning about their vaccine distribution, or lack thereof, that quickly changed.
Hang on, you knew about the vaccine hoarding? Why didn't you tell anyone?
That would have started violent riots.
It's a different doctor.
It's not fair to begin a civil war when it would end without a cure for the illness. I wanted to say something. It hurt not to, but the time wasn't right.
You didn't think the people deserved to know?
They do, and they will. But not while we only have a vaccine and not a cure. With a permanent cure, the aristocracy's hoarding becomes irrelevant, and the focus will be on eradicating the disease.
I guess that makes sense.
So you just want to maintain the status quo for now until you actually can. Great, that's wonderful. Oh, Jesus.
Why the mechanical ravens? What do they do?
Rather clever little inventions, wouldn't you say? They have video transmitters in their eyes and audio transmitters in their beaks. I use them as scouts, since I can control them remotely.
Did you make them?
No, someone else did. A long time ago. In any case, they've served me quite well.
Conspiracy.
The ones that haven't broken. I have very few left, which is going to be a problem at some point.
You've been following me with your birds. Why am I of such interest to you?
You did a lottery job for the Ministry of Energy.
That's right. What of it?
You've got the disease. You're fighting to survive. You're clever and resourceful. Exactly what I need.
Exactly what do you need?
After I left the Ministry of Medicine, I began my attempts at developing a permanent cure for green lung. It was a long process, which took over 10 years, but just last month, I had a breakthrough and was able to make this.
Is that?
Yes, this is the cure for green lung. I've been testing it and it seems to work, but I need to be certain. Aside from that, I don't have the information necessary to mass produce the cure, though I suspect Tiberius keeps it somewhere in the Ministry of Energy.
Oh boy.
What is it you need from me?
We're both fugitives, Amy. I can't put myself at risk by going to the places I need to. If I'm killed or captured, my research will have all been for nothing.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Take care of yourself. I saw how you handled things at Rockwall Prison and Willowdale Plaza.
You helped me out both of those times.
I merely provided some assistance. Your survival was your own doing. Now I realize it's a bit much to ask, but your help would be incredibly valuable, not just to me, but to the future of humanity.
It's not really much to ask. I owe you my life, after all.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. The main thing I need is to find out where Tiberius is keeping my research on mass production. At some point, I'll also need a subject to test the cure on, so I can be absolutely sure it works. Do you have any questions?
Human guinea pig at your service. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen sooner or later. Oh boy. Okay. I am starting to run out of steam, alas. Remember a time when I could sit and stream a video game for 3 hours. I guess it varies. It always does. Sometimes I can go further. It just could be time of day, could be any number of things. I don't know. Anyway, could be various medical things going on. Let's see. Yeah, it's right there.
Why do you dress like that?
Intimidation, mainly. The work I do is not exactly looked upon favorably by the government, so I had to come up with a way to make sure I was left alone. The costume is just to make sure anyone who might happen to see me is scared off.
So you knew of the rumors about the Reaper and decided to become him yourself?
No, I'm the one who started them. Creating the image of death personified seemed a natural deterrent for anyone who might get too close. Thankfully, the rumors seem to have spread rather quickly over the years.
You aren't kidding. There's a whole cult dedicated to worshipping you.
Ah, yes, I know of them. An extreme example, but I can't deny it helps my work.
Are you going to tell them at any point?
About your subject, can I try the cure?
I'd like to, but it's far too risky. You are one of my greatest assets right now. If this proves to have any adverse side effects, I'll be without your help. Once I can mass produce this, I won't have to be so careful.
Yeah. He probably isn't as selfless. You don't mind being poked and prodded. The achievement selfless came up here, apparently. He probably isn't. He probably isn't going to tell them. He's going to go on. He's going to go on being worshipped. Yeah. Why upset them? How do I find the mass production information?
How can we find the mass production information?
That's what I said.
Ideally, I could use my ravens to go in and locate it, but I only have 3 working ones left. And as you're well aware, Tiberius's tower is huge. It would take way too long for only 3 ravens to scan the entire place without being detected.
Could I take a look at one of them?
Of course.
Who did you say made these?
A friend in the Ministry of Knowledge, but that was ages ago. I know very little about their design.
It isn't too complex, actually. I can fix them for you, no problem.
Huh.
Sure. See this bit here? That's the servo, the part that controls the wings. It's worn out, so I just need to replace it with a new one.
Are those common? Would we be able to find one or more in the city?
Well, I learned about them from working on toy airplanes that my friend had when we were kids. If we could find some, we'd be in business.
I wonder. Yes, excellent. As I suspected, there's a hobby shop which has remained mostly intact further in the city, and I can see that they have several model airplanes.
Great, I'll go get them and fix your ravens in no time.
Yes, but the store is located in the quarantine zone.
So, I have nothing to worry about. I'm already infected.
You contracting green lung isn't my concern. It's how you're going to get back out. The quarantine zone is designed to keep people from escaping.
If I can find a way in, I'll just have to find a way out, won't I?
Maybe hold off on...
While you're there, see if you can bring someone back with you. Someone who has been quarantined will make an ideal subject to test the cure on.
I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Take this then.
What is it?
A two-way communicator. They used to call them walkie-talkies.
Ah,
You can use them
yes.
to stay connected while you're in there.
The ancient past.
Can you tell me anything about Tiberius?
Quite a bit. I've known him for a very long time. Since before the bombs, in fact. Was there anything specific you wanted to know?
I appreciate that this game allows me to finish out the conversation trees. That's very kind of it. Because, you know, we could have just lit on that and it's like, oh, here's your mission, go! But it does not. It lets me finish the conversation trees. And my, the OCD part of my brain appreciates that a great deal. Has he always been evil?
What was Tiberius like before the bombs?
He was the director of the Ministry of Energy. Of course, back then he wasn't calling himself Tiberius. He was just Julian. After society collapsed, he took the initiative to reform and establish the aristocracy. His love for history led him to adopt the alias of Tiberius, as well as insisting the other aristocrats take the name of ancient Roman emperors.
Why does he wear that awful mask?
Anonymity. He felt government leaders are more respected as an institution rather than as people.
Ah.
I can't deny that this approach works extremely well.
Also, they raided a costume shop and...
Was he always so evil?
I wouldn't call him that. Manipulative, yes. Ruthless, undoubtedly. But not evil. He suffered immense trauma on the day the bombs fell.
Everyone did. Not all of us had the wealth to recover so easily.
Tiberius lost both his wife and unborn child that day.
Oh dear.
Or not, that hits a man hard. It left him quite mentally unstable, to be honest. His determination to rebuild society was rooted in trying to cope with his loss. In a way, I felt pity for him. Perhaps too much.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing.
Felt pity for him perhaps too much. Is there a connection here we need to know about? No, I'm gonna keep quiet and make it all that much more dangerous for you, who's actually risking your life. Yeah, so, I had a horrible thought just a moment ago. That may come to fruition in this game, so, once again, content warning, for, referencing in vitro death and things of that nature. But just briefly, I will say that I suspect now that I know who it is, or that Tiberius is talking to when we see him those brief moments during those cutscenes, where he appears to be speaking to something inside a big kind of bell jar. Yeah, I think I have an idea what that is now. Okay, all right, done with that. Why has he got a soothsayer?
Strange for him to have a soothsayer for an assistant. How is he qualified?
Superstition is a very powerful force. I'm living proof of that. I never had many dealings with the soothsayer, but I believe he came from somewhere outside the city. Tiberius finds comfort in being able to have a channel to the supposed other side. While I don't share his beliefs, I can't particularly fault him for having them.
That's all for now.
Fair enough.
I'll just get to it then.
Good luck, Amy. By the way, that doorway back there will allow you to get up and down the tower much easier than climbing.
Oh wait, no, this is how we skip all that. You know, it's hilarious, kind of. I kind of imagine that the soothsayer maybe is very clearly being played as though he knows more than is going on, so probably has his own agenda and is just sort of like, just being like, yes, I will be here and say mystical things, so that, and maybe he knows things, but I get this vibe off the soothsayer that he's playing along with Tiberius, maybe more than necessarily fully invested. I don't know. We'll see. So I think we can go out this door. If we go out the door, then that will be that. Let me save again. That was a lot of information. And just resave over that. And we're back to the map. And there's a new location, the quarantine zone, which we will visit, I think, next time. Because we've been at this a couple hours, and I think I need to dive off, honestly. So, that's good. No, there's more to do. Plenty more to do, looks like. Going into the quarantine zone, getting a subject, and they have to, and getting a bunch of, getting some remote-controlled airplane servos to fix the ravens so that you can then use the ravens to go in and find the information. I guess that's the plan here. I guess that's the plan. Okay. All right. That's the plan. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. Okay. Well, there we are. There we are. Thank you all very much for watching. I very much appreciate it. That was fun. I'm gonna next time I like I said, I'm alternating this with Among Trees and Age of Empires. I don't know as I'm juggling which one of these will come next. I feel like we're getting closer to the ending. I don't know how close the ending is though. We'll see. We've got the quarantine area, and I assume there's going to be some sort of showdown, so I'm expecting there to be at least 2 more things, right, that are going to be happening. So we'll see what happens. Might be more than that, though. Dunno. But, in the meantime, what's happening? Let me see. Lungs. Let's see, what day is it? It is Thursday. So, I think that, so between now and, so sometime next week, we might be doing more text adventure gaming, maybe, depending on how things go, but, so randomly I'm playing these other video games, and then I think it's, yes, a week from this Sunday is when tentatively, we have scheduled our on-stream session 0 for Last for the Angry Void. So very much looking forward to that, if we can get that going. Keep your fingers crossed, folks. More media is going to be dropping about that soon. But yeah, it's a week from Sunday. We have that afternoon more tabletop gamery. And other stuff is in the works, slowly starting to happen. I've started talking to people. So things might happen soon. We'll see more about that as it develops. And that's most of what's happening right now. I am looking forward to that which is coming, at least in the streaming world, at least. The real life, you do what you gotta. And so we'll see. There's some things I'm probably gonna have to do soon that I'm not gonna like too much, but we'll see how things go. But in the meantime, folks, thank you again for watching. Take care, and I will see you all of a sudden.